Hey, it's Elliott here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for the commodity markets for the previous week and see what expectations I have for the upcoming week. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott wave theory and provide multiple scenarios a price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on the weekly time frame to get an idea here where we are, and starting with gold. Here I've got this labeled as wave 1, 2, and again starting from the lows of around the 2015 end. Around December or November. 1, 2, 3, and currently we would be looking for a wave 4. That is the primary idea, and within this primary idea we have few options. A few of them are saying that wave 4 is already done here. I don't like this, as the only option at the moment is that we have an expanding leading diagonal, which is again very rare, so I don't really like it. Overall, something like this is the primary idea, in which we have A or W, B or X, and then looking for C or wave Y down here. We have this very large, not very large, but very good support area that we tapped into so many times already, that we'll see if it holds anymore, if we are going to be coming back to it. There's a couple of different ideas for this last leg here. One is saying that we have A, B, C here into W, and then 3 waves into X, and then A, B, and C for the wave Y. At this point again we would be breaking this support area here, and then we would be done with this correction like so, and then looking for higher prices. However, what I don't like about this is that the X was kind of small, not getting to the 38.2 retracement, and that's why I don't really prefer this. The other scenario is that we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, in which wave 5 we would be looking at almost completion, well, one more leg. So for this one, on the wave 5, I've labeled this as a possible 1, 2, 1, 2, then again another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into third. It is really messy here, but I showed you this on the gold video before. If you want to be looking at the lower degree time frame, you're more than welcome to take a look at that video as well. Then wave 4 and 5 here into the third. I've managed to squeeze out one structure out of here. I had this as 1, 2 here. Overall, I feel like it is stretching it quite a bit downwards. Although it had better look on it, I'm not getting that enough structure in here to justify this here. So instead I have a W, X, and then Y here to justify this count ending a third here. We do have that divergences here, so that would be what we are expecting. We don't have divergence here, at least on 4 hour, as this we can see as this third here. The close is very high. We only had a wick down here, so again RSI is looking from the close of the candle, so we don't have that here. On overall, again we would be looking this structure as a 3-way structure to look for that wave 4. In this one I've labeled this as a WXY, in which again wave Y would be a W, well, that is in the wrong place, should be here, in which we would have this as a 3-way structure here. But again, invalidation is very, very close, around the 1804, yeah, there we go. And yeah, looking for one more low here. At the moment, that is definitely the expectations. I'm not quite sure on the lower time frames how I'm looking at this structure over here. It does not really seem too impulsive, so that's why I'm not really trading gold at the moment, as I'm not having the best looking count here. So yeah, overall expectations though are still to the downside, to look for this last wave 5. There is one more count, but I don't have it as the best look either, or it doesn't have the best look either, of having this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and this here would be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We do have that divergence here, which would and could explain this scenario, and at that point we could end the counts down here, and from there on we could be looking this more bullishly, although it is a bit weird looking structures from the lows Of course, if we are pivoting something like this higher, then there is of course a possibility for that. But for this to happen as well, I would be looking for lower first and then higher prices. So that's gold. Let's take a look at silver next. And starting from, let's see what kind of structure. Yeah, this should be fine. So in here, we would have this ending something larger, and then we would have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third, fourth, and fifth, having a primary one up here. From there on out, we have a few different ideas, giving us a few different ideas for the wave 2. Now on this one, I've labeled this as a possible ABC. I don't like this structure as this last leg looks very 5-wave-ish. And for this to be an ending diagonal, we need a three-way structure. So in this case, we would again expect 3 ways and then again another 5 ways down. So instead of ending here, we would end it down here. Now the overall retracement is around the golden pocket already. So I would prefer some other counts if they are showing us that end around here as well. The other scenario would be that we have this as WXY and then 3 ways into X and then looking for 3 ways here for the wave Y, or 3 ways into an A, 3 ways into B, and then 5 ways into C. That's the only way I can end this count here into these lows. This looks very distinguished as a 5-way move. So this is either a start of something or an end of something. End of something would be this C wave, or a start of something would be this A wave, B wave, and C wave for the wave Y. Okay, pretty simple here. Let's go to 4-hour time frame. It's possible that this definitely has ended that 5-wave structure here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've labeled this again the A wave as I'm looking at this as the possible wave Y start. So that's why I had it labeled as an A here. So again, we came back to the overall higher time frame golden pocket, and we could be looking for higher prices. At the moment, this structure from below definitely looks impulsive. So I am in the favor of having this as a 5-way structure, whether it's part of this or whether it's part of the WXY or ABC does not really matter at this moment to me, since this is what I'm looking at here on the local time frame, saying that we have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the third or sub-minute, fourth or sub-minute, and looking for that fifth or sub-minute. There is definitely more upside to come for me on this asset, so I'm definitely looking into the possibility of going for long setups at the very low time frame here, which definitely supports the higher time frame ideas. For this structure here, I'm labeled this as a wave 1 of micro, then looking for a pullback like so. Of course it is possible that is already done and this would shoot up massively on the open on Monday, but I'm still hesitant to, because we did not get to the 0.5. I definitely want to be in on at the 0.5 retracement, as that would be less risky. Again, stop loss would be all the way down here, so there is quite a bit difference here, 1.5%. But again, risk tolerance and position sizing is the key for any trading. But yeah, this is the setup that I'm looking for on the next week start. And after these 5 waves, of course, what are we expecting? 3-way pullback and continuation. Whether that is part of the WXY or something else, I'm not quite sure of yet, and we can look at that when we get there. The next structure is next asset is the natural gas, in which we have been tracking this possible 5-way move. This is the main one, so I'm just going to be mostly looking for on this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, topping us at the very tip top in here around the June 8th, I think. Yep. Since then, we have a possibility for this to be a WXY into an A wave, then WXY into B, coming back to the 0.9 retracement, which again qualifies this as an A, B, and then we would be looking for downwards price for the possible C wave. It is not quite as good looking as I wanted here. So there is a couple of possibilities. Either we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this indeed already was a wave 2, and we would have missed this trade looking for way lower prices. So I'm not quite sure of that as of yet. This structure is very choppy, as NATGAS seems to be at the moment. So it's doing something like this constantly, taking out the previous like structures here with these weird wicks and stop lossing everybody out on every trade here, as you would see. So yeah, it is a kind of difficult one to trade for sure. Again, this one here doesn't really feel like too good of a structure. I might need to find some other charts than this one, so to see if they have any better structures to look into this more. Because as you can see, everything here is that same structure, and very difficult to predict where we are going to get that wick. Yeah. So, but in any case, my overall expectations is way lower on this one. The other scenario, of course, would be that we are looking at higher time frame wave 3 here instead of that wave 5. So in here we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in here we have completed just 1, 2, 3, and 4, and looking for 5. The wave 4 here of this minute or green count did retrace to around the 32, a bit lower. So it is still possible that indeed we are going to be getting one more low here. Is again a bit quite different, or quite difficult to, let's remove that, to get our account saying that we have a 1, 2 confirmed here, as these are very choppy moves. I definitely need to be looking at some different asset for this as well. For this to be the most bullish, I would say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But we'll see. Again, there is massive expectations on this count to go higher. Lows would be here. If we would want to take longs, we would be taking it right here. Stop losses would be behind here, and then we would be looking for way higher. Then the last but not least is the US oil. Let's start with that as well on the daily. Let's start from the crash of 2020. Since then, the main idea is this one, in which we have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1, then 3-way pullback into wave 2 here, or the wave 2 was here, and the next structure would be a bit more weird looking. However, I prefer it to be here, in which we have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into the third. Now we have to say and note that wave 3 did not get to the 1-to-1 extension of this wave 1. That makes it possible to be another structure as well, which is this, not that one, this one, an ABC structure. Again, this would be a bit more bearish, as you see the count here as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But again, as we have so many nested 1, 2s, is making this less likely. So I'm going to be sticking with this idea still, with this being a wave 3 or something. Invalidation, of course, is around 76.92, around there, or around $77. Currently, the wave 4 has retraced already around 61%, which definitely makes this a bit less likely to be the case. But again, in comparison to this wave 1, this wave 3 was so small. But again, wave 4 is compared to against the wave 3 here. So overall, it is also possible that we have this as 1, 2, and this as another 1, 2, because again, this 5-way structure here was not as large as this. So I would kind of like this being a 1, 2 as well. Then we would qualify this this wave 2 here ending way better than anything else. The wave 4 is very deep. Well, I'll just leave this here. I can show you the counts later on. In any case, this structure here could be labeled as a WXY or ABC. Let's take a look at those. So that was the wrong one. So for the last leg here, we could be labeling this and looking at this as the WXY. We would be looking this as the possible A wave, and then this structure would be A, B, and then C for the B wave, and then again looking for C wave here. This would again bring us a bit more down again. Again, we don't need to get to we can't really get to the invalidation unless we're looking at that 1-2-1-2 setup, which would be very, very bullish for this asset. But yeah, this can definitely suggest that we are looking for a connector wave here in the middle to connect this structure downwards. And that is pretty much my expectation at the moment. The other scenario would be an ABC. This is way more messier. Yeah, I guess that's a word. In which we have this as an A, B, and C. Then again, looking for the same setup, A, B, and C. So instead of the diagonal here, we would have an ABC. I don't prefer this that much, so I probably don't need this, as we have the both these counts saying that we have something ended here, and then we could be looking for a connector here in the middle, and then looking for downwards again. Then we have the WXYXZ, which is again the only structure at the moment that I see that ends down at these lows. Okay, however, I have to say that WXYXZ is extremely rare, and I don't think I have ever witnessed one that is the only option to be placed in there. So that has to be kept in mind. Now, again, WXYXZ, like so, we are getting to the one-to-one extension here of this ABC or WXY. So it is very possible that we did indeed end there. We don't need this. Yep. So yeah, the only thing that I don't like about this is just because it is a WXYXZ. Otherwise it just looks really good. But yeah, it's so rare that I'm not expecting this to be the case. Now, however, as with all of these cases or all of these counts, we are looking for this to either pivot for this C wave here, or pivot and complete the whole structure of a wave 4 here. We are looking for a C wave, which is again 5 waves or an impulse wave off of these lows to start the wave 5 of primary. So both of these or all of these are saying it. Okay, we have to be keeping attention here. That is it possible that we are turning around? Now, on the very small time frame, we would be looking this last leg here as a possible end here. I've labeled this as a ABC here, as we have a potential 5-way move here. It is very ugly though, but yeah, sometimes these are ugly and can't really get them better looking. Of course, I would accept another WXY here, 3 ways here, 3-way here, and then again WXY here. This would be some kind of zigzag pattern here as well, I guess. But the main point is that we have come back to one-to-one extension of this ABC or WXY, and then we could be looking for higher prices. This definitely feels and looks very impulsive off the lows. Again, we are on very low time frame, 5 minute at the moment, and looking for this to be a wave 1 of something, wave 2 or something. I did take this long as I have expectations that we are again going higher. We'll see how it turns out. I had staggered my long setups for this and my stop loss below here. So that's the setup I'm looking for next week for the crude oil. And yeah, that brings all the commodities to end at the moment. If you made it this far, I would definitely appreciate the likes on the video, and link to my free Discord server in the description below. Also, let me know if you made it this far into the video and do like the format of going forward and covering these assets on a weekly basis on this higher time frame most likely, and of course giving out the setups that I see there at the end of the weeks. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I wanted to cover, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.